Hello, travel agents, and welcome back to Travel Agent Tips. If you've never seen Travel Agent Tips before and this is your first time, welcome. Travel Agent Tips is a series about how we can teach travel advisors to be successful. In this episode, we're going to dive into Seminar at Sea. What are they and how can you make the most of them? So let's go into an explanation of what a seminar at sea is. It's certainly not a vacation, right? So we have to think about this as a business trip where we're going to learn all things cruising. It's a cruise-based learning event hosted by a supplier or your host agency. It combines training sessions with first-hand cruising experience. And it's a great intro to cruising for agents who have never cruised before. I remember my first seminar at sea. Boy, this was a challenge because it was right during a hurricane. So the captain takes off in this hurricane and we go to a safe place, but let me tell you, the swells were unbelievable. Sometimes we get a little social on those things beside the learning experience, but during this, we couldn't exactly use the dance floor the way that we would normally use it because everyone was bouncing off of the brass rails. So just think brass rails, this was back in the 90s and it was in the middle of this crazy storm, but we ultimately did learn quite a bit. And what a great experience to learn what it's like to cruise during a hurricane. Let's hope that doesn't happen to you on your first seminar at sea or next seminar at sea, but let's talk about how it can be different than any other type of site inspection or trip that you would go on, the difference between a seminar at sea and the site inspection. So a seminar at sea is the full cruise experience over multiple days. A ship inspection could be just a 2 to 4 hour quick learning experience of all things on board, but then you're going to disembark and not be able to sail. Seminars at sea include the full experience like all of your meals, understanding your staterooms, all the service, just like your clients would get. So it's important to tie that into the idea that says, I'm learning here what my clients are going to experience when I book them. How is it different than a FAM or a familiarization trip? FAM trips are land-based and usually multi-destination. So that's where you're going to a resort and possibly seeing multiple resorts each day while you're there. A seminar at sea concentrates on one ship, learning all things about that cruise line and those products and destinations. It's a little bit more structured than a typical FAM trip because FAM trips in the evenings usually have you on your own and sometimes during the day as well. Seminars at sea are pretty structured because you've got a learning experience that's going on and then you're doing the excursions on the days that you're not having the classroom setting. Be sure to check out our travel agent tips on how to get the most out of a FAM trip. So how do we get invited and how do we go to a seminar at sea? Well, at KHM Travel Group, our agents have exclusive access to seminars at seas with our top suppliers like Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean International, Avalon Waterways, MSC, Celebrity, just to name a few. KHM agents, be sure to check my travel agent portal or your insider emails to see what seminars at sea are available for you. Aside from a host agency, you might get invited directly by the supplier. This is if you're registered with them and you've done the coursework, right? So they want to make sure and take a viable travel agent with them. So they're going to invite those who have done all of that coursework through that supplier and that you're registered. Some of them are on a first come, first served basis, right? It's very limited availability. There's so many travel agents looking to go. So you make sure you've got to get registered and committed early. Be sure to check their portals and register with them directly if you need to. If not, you're using your host agency. And be sure to know what's included in your price, in the overall expectancy of the trip. Is it the full fare? Is the Wi-Fi included? Are all beverages included? What are the things that are included and not included so that you're prepared for your budget when it comes time to check out? So how do you make the most out of your seminar at sea? Before you get on board, again, you got to do the supplier training and make sure that you're up to date on all of that and be prepared for what's next while you've got hands-on training on board. And then you'll prioritize the learning experiences that are going to relate to your customers or future customers. Are you looking for accessibility, dietary, adults only? Is it the kid-friendly areas that you need to know? Is it multi-generational? Whatever that is, you want to go there understanding exactly what your goals are of that seminar at sea. Be sure to attend all the sessions and take copious notes. It's very, very important to take those notes. You're going to look back on them for years, like I still do, from my first seminar at sea all the way until my most recent seminar at sea. And listen, we might even be an experienced agent. We still need to go on seminars at sea because there's new product coming out all the time. So I hope our experienced agents understand that. Then, of course, you want to market your experience to your clients, right? You want to take the photos, videos, shorts, reels. Be sure that while you're doing the ship tour, you're doing the video so that you can put it out there and make sure that your customers or potential customers understand you've experienced this firsthand, you've got the knowledge, and you're the expert that they're going to turn to for the advice on their next cruise. And then, of course, you've got the blog post idea and direct emails to your customers. And then networking is so important to network with your BDM, Business Development Manager, right? Business development managers are not just there for issues that you might have on a past booking, but they're there for your future business as well. How can we develop future business? Work with your BDM. That's that relationship that you want to have with them. And by going on a seminar at sea, you have that personal relationship now, and you can talk about some of your goals with them and then have a good 1 to 3 year plan with them. While we're on the subject of seminars at seas, there's also something to take into consideration. What not to do while we're there, right? We don't want to treat it like a vacation. We're not going to show up when we want, go to the buffet whenever we want. We've got to go to our classes and do our classwork. And don't forget, the cruise lines and the BDMs aren't making it so that you're going to miss an excursion. They're going to work around that time so that you can do it while you're at sea. Don't skip your sessions. They're there for a reason. Don't dress too casually for seminars at seas. Make sure you're dressing in business attire, right? You want to carry yourself like a business person. That's what you are when you're a travel advisor. And of course, we can never solicit other passengers for business while we're on board. Of course, there could be conversations that say, oh, are you a travel agent? Yes, I'm a travel agent. Listen, if you're working with a travel agent, I'd like to keep it that way, right? That's always great. You should always work with a travel agent. End of discussion. That's it, right? If they want to find you, they'll find you, but it's not your self-promotion time. No business card should be handed out at that time. It's kind of an unwritten rule in our industry, but just something we want to make sure that we don't want to give travel agents a bad name. Plus, you wouldn't like it if one of your customers or future customers was solicited by a travel agent who was on a seminar at sea. So we just want to be careful about that. Business cards are important, but those are only to be exchanged with your fellow colleagues who are there and your host agency, of course, and your BDM. So every time you're on a cruise or on a trip, you always want to think about that as a seminar at sea. I was just recently on a cruise and I thought of all the things I want to share with other travel advisors, but also make sure that I'm making my customers aware of what the latest, greatest things are. Are there different ways to check in now? Did we do all of our online information the way that we were supposed to so we didn't have a delay at the pier when we were getting on board? What's happening on board that I want to remember to tell people, right? So every time you're on a trip, vacation, on your own trip, with your family, whatever the case is, treat that like a seminar at sea. Practice explaining onboard experiences like you would to clients. Take those notes, make sure you're coming back with notes because you're going to learn specific things that you're going to want to know. And then also take notes and take videos while you're on the excursion. Take those notes, take those pictures, refer back to them, and show people exactly what you experienced while you were on board. So those types of tips are going to be what's going to set you apart from any online booking engine. So make sure and take all of those notes and understand the entire element of your seminar at sea. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We appreciate that you're watching. We'd love to hear ideas if you have them for future travel agent tips. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel.